comenzó su carrera publicando videos tocando música en el 2009. En el 2014, Yvette lanzó un EP titulado Acoustics y amplió aún más la discografía con el lanzamiento de un EP dividido con Natalie Evans en 2015. En junio del 2017 lanzó un segundo EP titulado Crea, su segundo EP. Crea ilustraciones y piezas de arte únicas, incluyendo el trabajo en algunas de sus propias guitarras. Con ustedes, la maestra Yvette Young.
Hola, me llamo Yvette. Estoy feliz de estar aquí. That is my Spanish knowledge. Thank you so much for having me. I guess I wanted to begin today with, I don't know if my translator.
Hola a todos.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but we are waiting also for your translator. Let's do it. And, you know, if, Yvette está saludándolos a todos ustedes. Yvette, your Spanish is pretty good. I love it.
Oh. Gracias. Yeah, I guess, so should I wait for Igor?
Let's start, and I don't know if he has some, you know, trouble with connections or whatever. So
okay.
let's begin.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I wanted to begin with, I guess, a little lesson, a little glimpse into my writing process. I am a guitar player, but I think my main passion actually lies in creating full songs. Like, for me, being a songwriter is what makes me the most happy, and guitar is my tool for that, as well as piano and violin. But today I'm going to be on the guitar.
La maestra Yvette va a estar durante esta clase mostrándonos sobre la escritura musical y cómo ella crea sus propias canciones. Así que durante esta clase la maestra va a estar explicándonos un poco cuál va a ser el proceso.
Hola, ya estoy aquí. Tenía un problema con el botón.
Okay.
I'll be your translator, so feel free to speak, and good luck. And luck. Just
thank you.
Tells us what you know. Yeah, I had a problem. The audio button wasn't appearing on my screen, so okay, we're good now. So
let's go ahead.
Come on, Yvette, tell us.
So today I'm going to be sitting with you guys and showing you how I go about constructing all of my.
Les voy a mostrar cómo hago la construcción de mis riffs.
So for a lot of my music, it is very complicated and there's a lot of details going on. But
lo que hago en mi música es muy complicado y hay muchos detalles que siguen.
It doesn't start with that. I actually build it from something very simple.
Yo normalmente construyo los riffs a partir de frases simples.
Yeah, so everyone plays an instrument. Even if you don't play guitar, everyone has a voice. Well, most people have a voice. And I use that a lot of times when I'm trying to write.
Mucha gente utiliza la voz para escribir sus cosas. Yo utilizo mi voz.
So I had a song idea happen when I was driving in traffic. A lot of ideas come to me when I'm running or when I'm driving because I'm doing nothing and I'm just writing.
Utilizo, por ejemplo, cuando estoy manejando con el tráfico, y esto me ayuda a componer.
It actually started with a vocal line and it sounded like.
Y normalmente empiezo con una línea vocal. Just let's do it by blocks, okay? I have to translate.
Entiendo.
Ni hao ma. Okay, let's go.
Okay, yeah. So the idea was, I bruised my heart today, but I like the way it stirred me. So a lot of my ideas start with sometimes just vocal lines.
Empiezo con cuestiones vocales. Mis melodías parten de cuestiones vocales que yo voy cantando.
So I decided to go home and I picked up my acoustic guitar and I translated it to acoustic.
Entonces yo agarro mi guitarra y las traduzco a la
So
misma.
I wanted the first half to be a counter melody, and I wanted the second half maybe to mirror the melody.
Es que, say again, please.
Oh, I wanted the first half to be a counter melody,
Quiero que la primera sección se aplique las notas
and then I wanted the second half to imitate the vocal line.
y quiero que la segunda parte imiten mi línea vocal.
I will demonstrate right now.
Lo voy a mostrar ahorita.
So, I bruised my heart today. I bruised my heart today. Second half. But
La otra mitad.
I like the way it stirred me. So I right now have the guitar part, which sounds like. So just with that little riff, I decided that I have potential for a longer.
Así que con un pequeño riff tengo un potencial para hacerlo crecer.
So I thought this would actually sound really cool on electric.
Yo
maybe?
pienso que esto suena muy padre, muy bonito. Eventualmente
I'm going to switch gears to electric.
voy a tomar la eléctrica.
I use acoustic a lot because I think it's convenient, but a lot of
Utilizo la acústica mucho porque creo que es cómoda,
my acoustic riffs end up on electric.
pero después lo paso a la eléctrica.
The tuning I am in is F, A, C, G, C, E.
La afinación que utilizo es Fa, La. What's the tuning again?
F, A, C, G, C, E.
Fa, La, Do, Mi, Do y Mi.
Perfect. So let's see what it sounds like on electric.
Así suena como en la prueba.
Okay.
Okay.
So I like that. I want to repeat it the second time.
Quiero repetirlo una segunda vez.
Over here, I have a whiteboard for when I write.
Aquí tengo un pizarrón blanco y voy a escribir algo de música.
It's like a classroom, right? I like to.
Es como una clase.
I like to write a letter for every part of the riff I'm building, so I can keep.
Quiero escribir una carta para cada parte de la música, de la letra.
So I'm going to call this section A.
Voy a llamar esta sección la sección A.
You see? It's backwards, right? Is it backwards?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, you can flip it in your head. So I want A to happen twice.
Quiero que eso suceda dos veces. Lo voy a hacer suceder dos veces.
A1, A2. So far, I think I want A2 to do something different. So,
ambas secciones van a ser diferentes.
That's A1.
Parte A1, la primera parte.
Let's have the melody go down. So, that's the first part of the riff that I'm building.
Aquí viene la segunda parte, donde estoy doblando.
I had a really hard time figuring out what should come next. But
Me costó mucho trabajo decidir qué sigue después.
My problem sometimes is I try to be
A veces mis problemas es que porque pretendo ser que what does you say?
I try to do things too complicated at first,
A veces trato de hacer las cosas muy complicadas al principio,
but I can actually start with a very simple idea, like
pero puedo comenzar con una idea muy simple,
like a chord progression.
como una progresión de acordes.
So I thought, why not try this progression?
Vamos a intentar esta progresión.
Very simple.
Es muy simple.
So I'm going to call that section B.
Voy a llamar esta la progresión B.
This is B.
Esta es la progresión B.
So I naturally want to play B 3 times.
Quiero tocar esta progresión B 3 veces.
So I'm going to call B1, B2, B3.
Lo llamaremos B1, B2 y B3.
And then I think I want it to happen again, but it needs a transition. So I'm just going
Necesito que esto suceda de nuevo, pero necesito una transición.
So that's T for transition.
Vamos a ponerle la T para una transición.
And I think I want B to happen again after the transition, just what I hear. But I don't know how many times I want it to happen, so I'm just going to start there. I map everything out because it helps me stay organized, because a lot of my parts are very detailed and complicated, and it's easy for me to see it in front of me so I can move things around. I don't know if my translator is okay. I'm just going to move to the next. I hope everything's okay. Oh.
Esta forma de transición me ayuda a tener una organización mejor en mi mente.
Oh, okay.
Perdón, parece que alguien dijo que mi voz está muy alta. No sé
Sí, claro,
cómo...
¿podrías bajar un poquitito tu voz?
Sí, probablemente.
Your volume?
Oh, my volume?
Yeah, the volume of your voice. Yeah, because you're a little bit lower.
Is that okay? Is this better?
Yeah,
¿Cómo le hago para bajar la voz? Porque no tengo un control del volumen de mi voz. Perdone a todos. No sé cómo hacerle. Igual, bueno, pues le pongo un trapito al micrófono o no sé qué hacer. Pero díganme qué hago. No quiero.
Yeah, move a little bit further from your mic. No, not close. Yeah.
Okay. Probably this is better. ¿Ahí está mejor? ¿Ya me escuchan mejor? Todos, por favor, díganmelo.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I just hid my microphone outside of the back of my desk. Okay. So, let's go on, Yvette, please.
Okay.
Perdón. Esas son cosas que no podemos controlar. Estamos trabajando en línea. Okay.
Okay, sweet. So I'm going to now go through this section, and the way I write is like I lay down a foundation, and then...
Como yo empiezo a trabajar, yo creo una estructura básica, a foundation. Okay, what else?
And then I put up the support and the walls and the details after. So this
y
is
después pongo todos los detalles y la estructura posterior después.
So I'm going to go through now and start to add some details and to make it more interesting.
Entonces yo empiezo a añadir detalles para hacerlo más interesante.
Cool. So B1, right now I have...
B1.
I like how that flows. So if I add some drums,
I'm sorry, something went wrong with the audio. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I like how that flowed. So right now, I'm thinking of adding maybe some empty strums to sound like percussion.
Perfecto, a mí me gustó esto que hice, entonces voy a hacer rasgueos en la guitarra y como si fueran percusivos, rasgueos percusivos.
So let's add some strums. I like that.
Me gusta eso.
So now from B1 to B2, I don't want to just repeat it. I want to put something in the middle to connect it.
Entonces del B1 al B2 no quiero repetirlo, quiero poner algo que conecte.
So right now we have a lot of chords. I think it needs something that sounds like a run or a sweep.
Ahorita tenemos ya muchos acordes que quiero que suenen dulces.
So I'm going to do a tap run, maybe like this.
Quiero hacer una línea superior que suene como esto.
Okay. All right. So like.
Algo así.
Like that. And then to go to B2 now.
Pero vamos a B2.
So for B2, I don't think it should do the same thing as B1. I think instead of doing the run,
No es como el B1, en vez de hacer esto,
I think it should have something different, maybe something a little more relaxed, like a
creo que
bend.
tenemos que hacer algo diferente.
Like a bend. So maybe I'll add
Un grupo.
like that. So
Algo así.
let's put together B1 and B2 and see how that sounds.
Vamos a juntar el B1 y el B2 y ver cómo suena.
Also, I want to add what I'm doing now is how I practice. I practice at the same time as I
Quiero que sepan cómo junto esto y cómo lo practico. Cómo funciona esto uno con otro.
Because at the same time, I always have to repeat things. So the more I repeat it, the more I learn it.
Porque de la misma manera, entre más lo repito, entre más lo practico, sale mejor.
Cool. So let's connect B1, B2.
Vamos a conectar B1 y B2.
So I like how that flows.
Me gusta ese sonido.
I don't want to do this again.
No quiero hacer esto de nuevo porque
Because it's predictable now.
es muy predecible.
So I'm going to add some muted strums because it's melodic.
Porque quiero añadir nuevos rasgueos porque son melódicos.
But it still sounds percussive and staccato like the...
Suena percusivo y espicato.
So it's like, I like that.
Me gusta eso.
So let's put it together.
Vamos a juntarlo.
So that's what we have. I like it. And
Eso
then,
es lo que tenemos y me gusta. I'm sorry.
let's do another bend and then let's bring it back to B. So
Vamos a volverlo a hacer y regresarlo. Vamos a la parte T.
we are at T right now. So,
Yeah, transition. Okay.
I like it.
Me gusta.
So the transition needs to have a little something extra at the end, I think.
La transición necesita algo al final, creo yo.
The melodic motion is going up right now.
El movimiento melódico está subiendo, está creciendo.
So I want a melodic line to imitate that motion and continue going up.
Sí, necesito que el movimiento melódico continúe creciendo.
So let's do. I sing a lot of my parts in my head and I find it on the fretboard.
Yo veo muchas partes en mi mente y las plasmo en la guitarra.
So there's that. I want to continue that motion and add a different texture. So,
Quiero continuar con esa emoción, con ese movimiento y añadir una textura diferente.
I'm going to throw in some harmonics.
Y quiero añadir algunos armónicos.
maybe like ba, 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 like that. So it'll sound like, and then back to B.
Regresamos a la parte B.
I think B1 should repeat, but let's put it all together.
Vamos a juntar todo.
Here we are at B1 again. I think that
Regreso a la B1.
I think that the tap run thing should happen again because it was so cool.
Yo pienso que se repite, suena muy bien.
So. And I think the next part should be different. I think it should do something.
Creo que la siguiente parte debe ser diferente.
We should continue the harmonic theme.
Vamos a continuar con la secuencia armónica.
I'm going to call it B4.
Vamos a llamar B4.
Because I haven't done it before. Haha, it's a joke. Okay, sorry.
Nunca lo había hecho antes, es una broma.
Okay, so that's what I hear in my head. So let's try to find that.
Y eso yo lo escucho en mi cabeza.
Little bend for attitude.
Es la actitud, full bend.
So. I'm going to sing that and play it.
Voy a cantar esto y tocarlo.
So I think we're basically at
Así que básicamente creo que vamos a hacer un B5.
B5 here. And I think
la parte B5.
I think we can try to end it here. So I'm going to bring back the harmonics.
Voy a trabajar con armónicos.
So that's the B5.
Esta es la B5.
I'm going to go back to the transition.
Voy a regresar a la transición.
So right now I have all these little parts.
Entonces ahorita tengo todas estas pequeñas partes.
And I want to check that they all flow because I really
Y
care
quiero
about
que
flow.
todas ellas fluyan.
I want to sound like water.
Quiero que suene como agua.
So, okay. From A.
Parte A.
So, I like
Así
that.
que
I think that's basically how I end up approaching writing these very complicated, detailed things.
creo que el acercamiento que estoy haciendo es muy complicado.
I start from something simple.
Empiezo desde algo muy simple.
And remember, this all started from me singing in the car.
Y recuerden que esto empezó cantando en el coche.
With that vocal line, I bruised my heart today, but I like the way it stirred me. So you can start from something like that and create like an entire riff.
Tú puedes empezar de aquí y crear esto.
I wrote this a couple weeks ago and I haven't played it with a band yet, but this is
Esto lo comencé a escribir hace un par de semanas y todavía no lo he tocado con una banda.
this is just a raw idea that I have that I actually finished into a song, and I included the vocals.
Y esto acabó siendo una canción y yo incluí las letras.
So right now, I wanted to show you how I think about pedals as well.
Quiero mostrarles ahorita cómo pienso acerca de los pedales también.
So I have my board. I can't really show you because my webcam is there.
No puedo mostrarles porque mi webcam no apunta allá.
My background is in visual art.
Mi background no se ve.
I'm a painter, so I think about my melody like a black and white drawing.
Yo lo pienso como un dibujo en blanco y negro.
And I think about pedals like the colors I add to the drawing to help me
tell
my story.
Yo me imagino a los pedales como los colores que añades a tu dibujo.
So the first part, I think it kind of sounds almost like bluegrassy country, and I'm just going to let the pickups talk there.
Say again, please. I had a problem with an audio.
The first part sounds kind of like country, so I just want to.
La primera parte suena como country.
So I just want to have the pickups talk.
Vamos a tener vamos a hacer un sonido de pickups truck.
Yeah. So. I usually have a DD3, but I don't have it. I think it would sound really cool with like.
Tenía un pedal DD3, pero ya no lo tengo.
I think it would sound like cool with a stutter because it's suspense.
Y me gusta que suene así porque suena suspendido.
This next section is very chunky because it has chords. So, I'm going to put some gain on.
Me gusta cómo suena el rasgueo de los acordes, entonces puedes subirles la ganancia.
I like that. It's chunky.
Me gusta ese sonido de distorsión.
This bend would sound really cool with like a delay. So.
Me gusta esa mezcla con un poquito de delay.
And I'm going to turn that delay off for the next part because it will get muddy.
Y voy a subirle un poquito para la siguiente parte porque va a sonar mejor.
That sounds so thick to me.
Esto suena muy grande.
I want to emphasize that with an octave pedal.
Quiero enfatizar ese sonido.
I love that.
Me encanta eso.
Turn it off for the run. So let's continue.
Ahora continuamos. Vamos a regresar al pedal.
So I think that's how I want to complete the song, is to just add those little extra tonal details.
Y yo creo que este tipo de efectos añaden un poquito de detalle al sonido.
Cool. I'm going to switch gears now and play 2 songs from my band.
Vamos a tocar 2 canciones. Y voy a cambiar de guitarra.
Let me see if the track is working. I'm gonna test.
Veamos si el track está trabajando.
audio? Is it too loud?
¿Cómo está el audio? ¿Está muy fuerte?
It's nice?
No, it's not too loud. No.
Okay, good. Okay.
Actually, it's not. No.
Let's do it.
Sometimes it fades away. I don't know what's going on with the audio interface, but sometimes it goes like low.
Okay.
I don't know if it's overloading the system.
Maybe.
Yep.
Let me just try to play one song, and if anything is bad, I can change it.
Okay. Let us know.
This is a song called Shibuya.
Okay, feel free to do it. We'll let you know.
Sorry, one second. Forgot the capo. Let me do it again. All right. I was like, why is this sounding so
Okay, no problem. Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm looking at the time right now. I was wondering, would people rather have me answer questions or play another song?
Quiero preguntarme si hay personas que tienen algún tipo de cuestiones, de preguntas que quieran hacer.
I'm gonna check.
We do have some questions in the question and answer chat room.
Yvette, your mic is very low. You're muted. Can you try again, please?
Is this better?
It's still very low, but yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
Is this better? Is this?
Yeah, kind of. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let's do a question answer then.
Okay.
Ok, Icar, yo la puedo leer en inglés y vos, en todo caso, la leo en español y vos traducísela a la maestra, por favor.
Adelante, por favor. Claro, gracias. Y perdón por mi tos, tengo gripa. Espero que no sea COVID, y si es COVID, bueno, pues ya me estarán haciendo un velatorio en algunos días.
Bueno, pregunta Clarisbel, ¿cómo hace la maestra cuando siente que una melodía se está poniendo muy repetitiva?
What do you think when a melody is getting very, going
Repetitive.
on and on, repetitive?
That's a great question. I
Esa es una gran pregunta.
kind of like what I did earlier. It's okay to start out repetitive.
Está bien, es como lo hice anteriormente, comenzar repetitivamente
For the sake of structure.
a la segunda estructura.
But every time it repeats, you can try to add something new.
Pero cada vez que repito algo, puedes añadir cosas nuevas.
You can do that in the form of techniques, like when I added harmonics.
Puedes agregar ciertas técnicas, como en este caso yo agrego armónicos.
And like the percussive strums.
Y los rasgueos percutivos.
But you can also do it in a band context where.
Pero también lo puedes hacer en un contexto de banda.
In the last song that I just played, there's one section that is very repetitive.
En la última melodía, en la última canción que hice, hay una sección que es muy repetitiva.
But I chose to leave it that way because I wanted to highlight my bass player and my drummer.
Pero en este caso yo quiero juntar al bajista y mi baterista.
So being in a band actually taught me that sometimes it's okay to let something repeat.
Está bien porque algunas veces se me permite hacer en la banda cosas repetitivas.
That's my answer.
Esa es mi respuesta.
Okay, do you want me to read another question?
Yeah, sure.
¿Quieres otra pregunta, por favor?
Ok. ¿Cuál es el calibre de las cuerdas que utiliza?
What is the gauge of strings that you use?
I use anywhere between 11 and 12. I'll let you translate first.
Escucho, yo utilizo entre 11 y 12.
So for 12s, I was using it for tapping because I get better tone that way.
Utilizo las 12 porque consigo un mejor sonido.
But for the new material, I'm switching to 11s because I'm doing a lot of bending.
Para el nuevo material utilizo las 11 porque hago mucho bending.
I have big calluses.
You have a big what?
Calluses, like the finger.
Okay, calluses. Tengo muchos callos, entonces utilizo esas. Okay.
Okay, we do have another one. We have lots of them for you, Yvette.
Great.
Okay, I struggle with perfectionism. If you do too, how do you overcome perfectionism when it comes to writing? Let me translate first. Yo lucho contra el perfeccionismo. Si tú también, si a ti también te sucede lo mismo, ¿cómo haces para superar perfeccionismo cuando llega el momento de escribir?
So that's also a great relatable topic. I guess for me, I like to, coming from my art background, one of the concepts that really fascinated me was minimalism.
¿Traduces tú o traduzco yo?
Tú.
So, all good?
Say again, please.
One art concept that really interests
Uno de los
me
conceptos que mucho me interesan
is minimalism.
es el minimalismo.
And the goal, the objective of minimalism is
Y el objetivo del minimalismo es
to stop when something has accomplished what it's intended to do.
es cuando tienes un stop de lo que tienes que hacer, cuando tienes una detención de lo que tienes que hacer.
The question that minimalism begs is that
la cuestión de lo que implica el minimalismo es
what are the essential parts of
cuáles son las partes esenciales.
So when I work in the way
Así que cuando trabajo,
when I work in the way that I showed you,
en la forma como les mostré,
I blocked out the big picture, right?
Yo cancelo la parte primordial.
I'm not just focused on one moment, but I'm focused on how that one moment relates to everything else.
Y no me enfoco en un solo momento, sino en cómo ese momento se desarrolla.
So when I sit down to write, when every riff, every song that I write,
cuando me siento a escribir en cada riff, en cada canción que escribo,
my primary objective is to tell a story or paint a mood.
Mi primordial objetivo es mostrar cómo me muevo.
And so for me, when I looked at the big picture,
y así para mí, cuando he completado mi objetivo,
and I step back,
and me voy para atrás,
and I hear everything, and when I close my eyes, it
y
accomplishes.
escucho todo, y cuando cierro los ojos, esto completa.
It accomplishes what I set forth for it to do.
Completa lo que yo me puse como objetivo primordial.
I think that's a good place for me to stop, because if I were to add too much to it, I might.
Yo pienso que esa es una manera buena de hacerlo.
I might take away from how pure the mood is. So I want to make sure
y
that
de esta manera puedo infiltrarme en lo que el mood implica, el sentido, el sentimiento.
I want to make sure that I'm not over cluttering it or making it muddy.
Y no quiero asegurarme que no lo esté saturando.
So my advice is sometimes it's good to take time and space away from something you make. So when
Entonces mi consejo es que te mantengas lejos de algo que ya pensaste anteriormente.
So that when you return to it and you listen to it, you can decide if you're ready to.
Y cuando lo retomas, tú estás listo y ya pensaste en esto.
And some words of comfort, if it's always okay to release something when it's not the best yet.
Y a veces es bonito descargar algo que no has cumplido recientemente.
Because you will always have an opportunity in the future to improve on it.
Porque siempre tienes la oportunidad para retomarlo.
Everything is a work in progress, including ourselves.
Todo es un trabajo en progreso, incluyendo a mí mismo.
Thank you very much, Yvette.
Yeah, thank you.
Here we have another one.
Okay.
What do you think about posture while tapping? Do you have any recommendation to play with effortless? La pregunta es, ¿qué opinas acerca de la postura mientras tocas tapping? ¿Tienes alguna recomendación para tocar sin esfuerzo? Ahora sigues tú, Icar.
Ajá.
So, the question is how, I guess, tips for getting good tap tone?
Posture while tapping, and any recommendation to play effortless.
Yeah. How would you play effortless? What's the easiest way to do it?
So
When you do tapping.
posture is important, but so is setup and gear in this case.
En este caso, la postura es muy importante.
I'm running through a compressor. I use the Earthquaker Warden.
Say again, please.
I'm running through a compressor. I'm using the Earthquaker Warden.
Quick wording.
Oh, Earthquaker.
Ajá. Prefiero hacerlo muy rápido.
I'm using a compressor.
Tú utilizas un compresor.
Yeah, a pedal. And
Un pedal compresor que pues nos da más ganancia cuando tocamos.
That pedal helps me get a lot of sustain out of every note.
Ese pedal me da mucho sustain.
When I tap, I'm actually using the natural weight of my hand and letting
Cuando hago tapping, utilizo la forma natural de mi mano.
I'm letting that guide my finger, and it also helps with when I have to do tap slides.
Cuando utilizo eso, utilizo simplemente la mano me va guiando. Y utilizo un tap natural.
Thicker strings will help you produce kind of a more thick tone.
Las cuerdas con un calibre más ancho me ayudan a producir un tono más sustain, más fuerte.
And finally, to play effortlessly, my advice is, unfortunately,
para tocar sin esfuerzo, desafortunadamente, mi consejo es
my advice is to have to play everything a million times so that you can do it in your sleep.
Tocarlo muchas veces, 1,000,000 de veces, inclusive cuando estás dormido.
I'm still working on it. I feel like I still put a lot of effort, but before a tour,
Sigo trabajando en esto y sigo haciéndolo sin esfuerzo.
I want to rehearse so much that I can start playing a song at any point.
Y me gusta ensayar mucho para tocar la misma canción en cualquier momento.
That way, if I mess up live, I can jump in like immediately.
Y de esta manera puedo tocar de cualquier punto y brincar a ello en cualquier momento.
Thank you, Beth. We do have more questions. La voy a decir en español, Icar, así se la puedes traducir. Hola, Yvette, ¿podrías dar algún tip o ejercicio para fortalecer los dedos de la mano derecha y mejorar la técnica de tapping?
Could you provide us with an exercise to how do you say it?
Endurance.
The right hand fingers for tapping. Could you give us an advice on exercises?
Just for right hand?
Yeah, for right hand.
I guess I want to make sure that I always have maximum strength in all my fingers.
Quiero pensar que tengo una máxima fuerza en mis dedos de la mano derecha.
I would say to just practice tapping and sliding because
me gustaría decir que quiero que utilizaría tapping y sliding, o sea, golpear y deslizar mis dedos.
Because when you tap and slide, you have to use a lot of finger strength, and to get
cuando utilizas tapping y sliding tienes que utilizar mucha fuerza de tus dedos de la mano derecha.
To get a good tone from one fret to the next when you tap and slide.
Y para obtener un buen sonido cuando pasas de uno a otro tono.
You have to make sure that you have enough strength. So,
tienes que estar segura que tienes la misma fuerza.
I would also suggest to not use a compressor when you practice.
También les quisiera sugerir que no utilicen un compresor cuando practiquen.
because a compressor makes things easier and it gives you a little boost.
Porque un compresor hace las cosas más fáciles y les da una mayor potencia.
You shouldn't get used to that because then you won't build strength.
Entonces, lo que queremos hacer aquí es construir una fuerza de dedos más alta.
So here I am tapping.
Aquí estoy tapeando.
And you can mute the other strings if you want.
Pueden mutar las cuerdas si quieren.
So in doing a tap run, like
Cuando hago el tap hago esto.
Sorry. It's kind of hard to get that accurate. But just doing it a million times will help. So I start really slow.
Vamos a empezar muy despacio. Sí, tapeando decimos en México.
It's so weird for me to do it slow because I'm used to playing it really fast.
Es muy difícil para mí hacerlo muy despacio porque yo estoy acostumbrado a hacerlo muy rápido.
But at the end of the day, when you do it slow and then you speed it up, that's how you make sure that you're not cutting corners.
Cuando estás haciéndolo despacio y después lo haces muy rápido es cuando te aseguras que no estés
Another tip I have.
Haciendo errores, cometiendo errores.
Oh, sorry. Lo siento. Another tip I have is when you are combining fingerstyle.
Otro tip que les digo es que cuando están combinando estilos.
With tapping.
Con un tapping.
You naturally want to pick down here.
Normalmente quieren hacerlo de esta manera.
But you're gonna have to do some picking up here.
Pero quiere hacer un picking de esta acá arriba.
That's because you don't want to have to move around.
No tienen que moverse más.
Yeah. So in this that one, it's like if I were to jump back and forth, I wouldn't be able to play it so fluidly.
Si estuviera brincando de un lado a otro, lo debería hacer más suavemente.
I can show you where it's essential.
Quiero mostrarles esencialmente.
I just changed the tuning.
Voy a cambiar la afinación.
There we go. So a section like that, I'm tap sliding all the time at the same
En una sesión como esta yo estoy haciendo tap y slide todo el tiempo.
At the same time as I'm pulling off the strings and finger picking.
En el mismo momento yo estoy jalando las cuerdas y haciendo finger picking.
So in order to do that, I have to have a strong touch, but also not be down here. I have to be here.
De la misma manera yo estoy rasgueando no abajo, sino arriba.
That is my very long answer.
Esa sería mi respuesta.
Thank you very much. I do have another one in English. Do you write like that ideas flow onto sheet music, or do you just remember by practice your ideas? As you mentioned, do you often forget an idea?
sea, luces otra
Ok,
vez.
Icar, ¿se escuchan muchos ruidos de fondo, puede ser? Okay, let me repeat. There are too many sounds in the background. Okay,
Okay.
okay. I'm gonna read it again. Do you usually write your ideas so you can remember them, or do you often just try to remind and don't forget your ideas?
That's a great question. I rarely notate stuff, but what I do is I record it in my DAW, or I have a lot of demos on my phone, but I've been recording entire ideas in Ableton. But to remember my ideas, I record videos of me playing it so that I can reference it and remember the finger positions.
Ok, la pregunta era si la maestra Young solía escribir sus ideas para no olvidarlas o simplemente trataba de recordarlas, cómo hacía para no olvidar sus ideas. Yvette nos responde: muchas veces trato de filmar cuando viene una idea, filmarme, así puedo recordarla. También uso Ableton Live, entonces si puedo, grabo esas ideas para no olvidarlas. Ok, thank you very much.
Of course.
We do have another one. How do you choose your tuning on your guitar? ¿Cómo eliges la afinación en tu guitarra?
That's a great question. I choose my tunings. First of all, I have one tuning that I really love, and that is the tuning that I started with, which is F, A, C, G, C, E. I tend to start from that tuning a lot because it's comfortable for me.
Ok, siempre parto de una afinación estándar, que es la que me queda confortable, que es F, A, C, G, C, E, o F, A, C, G, C, E, en notación o en cifrado americano.
That being said, sometimes I don't want to be comfortable. Sometimes I feel like I play the same thing over and over again, and it sounds like everything else I've played. So when that happens, I change up the tuning. I write with my ear primarily. I sing everything, all the melodies that I want to write, I sing because I feel like the voice provides for the most natural sounding melody, things that flow the best. And then if I change the tuning, I can't get too comfortable with shapes. I'm not letting what I'm comfortable with write the music, but instead I'm writing the music that I actually hear and want to write. So that being said, I change up the tuning a lot when I feel like I'm doing the same thing too much.
Muchas veces elijo cambiar mi afinación cuando siento que me estoy repitiendo demasiado y quiero ponerme en una situación diferente para poder crear ideas nuevas. Ahora, siempre intento también respetar las ideas que yo escucho y las que canto naturalmente. De esa manera, muchas veces trato de priorizar las afinaciones para poder tocar esas ideas que yo estoy escuchando en mi cabeza.
For me, going back to the art analogy, having a different tuning is like starting with a different color. And sometimes different colors can inspire a whole different story or a mood. So I like to also play around with different tunings just to see if I can come up with something a little different, like a different mood.
¿Alguien que traduzca, por favor? Sorry,
Icar, ¿estás ahí?
We're
It's
having
okay.
technical difficulties.
Oh, no worries.
Hola, perdón. Can you say again? I was close to the windows because I live in this building with a lot of people and there's a lot of noise.
It's okay.
Can you say again, please?
So I like to think of tunings as different colors.
Yo pienso en las afinaciones como diferentes colores.
So sometimes I feel like if I start with a different color than standard, I can
Yo
write...
pienso que cuando empiezo con una afinación con un color diferente con la afinación estándar,
I can write something that has a bit of a different mood.
Pienso que puedo crear algo con un sentido diferente.
It's like a different color, just like if I were to start instead of a clean tone guitar, I start with a little
Pienso que
fuzz.
cuando empiezo con un color distinto, con una afinación estándar, tengo una fase distinta.
You can achieve the same thing with starting with a different effect.
Puedes
So
lograr lo mismo con un efecto diferente.
like fuzz, the effect fuzz makes me write a bit darker. Like everything is a bit moodier.
A veces siento que la afinación es más oscura. Say again.
Oh, that was my answer. Oh yeah, fuzz makes everything moodier.
I'm sorry, I'm having an audio problem here. Say again, please.
Fuzz makes everything moodier.
Everything but what?
Moodier, like more dramatic.
Okay,
and dark.
moodier. Okay, siento que la afinación te provoca un sentido de sensación diferente.
Cool.
Hello.
We are cool.
Oh yeah, I was just done with my response. I don't know if there's another question.
Oh yes, we do have.
Hello. Hello.
Ok, Icar, yo lo puedo seguir, no te preocupes, yo lo puedo seguir aquí.
Perdón, aquí tengo problemas con la
No te preocupes, yo lo puedo retomar.
Okay,
soluciona
gracias.
tu problema sin problema. Puedes mutear perdón. Puedes mutear eso, puedes mutear tu micrófono, yo puedo retomar, no te preocupes. Muchas gracias.
Perdón.
Okay, how do you deal with the feeling of being stuck in the instrument? How do you overcome that feeling? ¿Cómo puedes superar el sentimiento de sentirte estancada en tu instrumento?
That's a great question. I feel that way all the time. One thing that I do when I feel stuck is I remember that it is okay to step away for a little bit and do something different, because sometimes we get stuck because we're just stuck in one mindset, right? And maybe we don't have perspective anymore because we've been doing the same thing for so long the same way. So for me, I sometimes like to go do a different activity. I love to go to art galleries because I feel like the paintings are just very visually stimulating for me. And I also feel like just being around a different art form, I can study their techniques, and it gives me inspiration for sometimes how to solve a problem that I have on my instrument. And it also helps me that I play piano. So sometimes if I don't know what to do on guitar, I'll either sing it with my voice or I'll take it to piano and I'll play the same melody. And I feel like just for some reason, a different instrument just helps me have a breakthrough on how to finish something.
I can take that if you if you let me. Okay, translate.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Muchas veces para superar el sentimiento de estancamiento, ella propone diferentes ideas. Por ejemplo, generar un cambio cambiando de instrumento. Tomar otro instrumento como el piano o el violín hace que surjan nuevas ideas, y hay veces ese estancamiento viene de estar muy obsesionado con una idea desde hace mucho tiempo y no poder ver o contemplar otras opciones. Cambiar de instrumento muchas veces hace que nosotros volvamos a nuestra idea original con un sentimiento renovado. A ella le gusta también visitar galerías de arte, donde otro tipo de artes visuales hacen que ella también se inspire al momento de volver a esa idea original y volver renovada a esa idea. Muchas veces se trata de tratar de crear un cambio para poder quebrar ese sentimiento de estancamiento.
Thank you. I also wanted to add that I take inspiration from all genres of music. So I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. And sometimes I feel like I'm surprised because I'll find a concept I like from, like, let's say EDM, electronic dance music. I'll hear like a syncopated rhythm with the drums and with like the synth or whatever they're using. And then I'll get an idea in my head and I'm like, oh, I want to see how I can create that vibe on my guitar. So I'll take a concept that I like from a completely different genre and I'll find a cool challenge for myself to try to emulate that on my guitar.
Otra opción que le gustaría sumar a su respuesta anterior en cómo poder quebrar un sentimiento de estancamiento es abordar otros estilos musicales. Ella disfruta de todos los estilos musicales, por ejemplo, EDM o música electrónica, donde, por ejemplo, ella nos acaba de compartir un ejemplo, si ella va a un lugar donde escucha ese tipo de música y de repente escucha una síncopa que la inspira, trata de versionar ese elemento incorporándolo a su música de una manera que ella lo considere necesario. Otros estilos de música la inspiran a crear su propia música y enriquecen su vocabulario.
Another way to do that is to jam with someone who plays a different style than you, because they can teach you a lot.
Otra gran manera de poder abordar este proceso es tocar con alguien que toca otro estilo totalmente diferente al que tocamos nosotros. De esa manera, esa persona puede enseñarte mucho acerca de otro estilo musical y renovar también tu vocabulario.
Oh, good.
Great. Thank you. We have the last 15 minutes left. Would you like me to keep reading questions?
Yeah, questions. I guess we can vote, like if people want to hear another song, or I'm so happy to continue answering questions.
Okay, we have plenty of them, so I can keep reading. Top 3 things that inspire you. ¿Cuáles son las 3 cosas que te inspiran?
That's an interesting question. I love it.
Agradece por tu pregunta.
Traveling.
Viajar.
It doesn't have to be expensive or far. Just being in a new place. Sometimes I feel like I absorb my surroundings and this is my living room and I'm in my living room every day. So sometimes I just become focused on the vibe that is here and I start to write the same way. But if I go somewhere new, I'm open to new ideas, new energy, and I feel like it really feeds me inspiration.
Viajar es una gran opción. No necesariamente tiene que ser lejos o caro, pero yo paso mucho tiempo de mi día aquí en mi living, desde donde la estamos viendo en este momento. De esa manera, cuando uno viaja, uno se inspira e incorpora ese paisaje a la música que uno está ejecutando o que está componiendo. De esa manera, viajar es sin duda un gran consejo. Okay.
The second thing that inspires me is just a new tone, like a new pedal. I feel like I had to do some demos for some gear companies and I got sent some pedals that I don't usually use, but really thinking about how I can write to enhance what the pedal does and to really showcase the strengths of that pedal forced me to write in a completely new way. And I wrote music that I would have never written if I didn't have that.
Otra gran opción es usar un nuevo tono, un nuevo sonido. Tengo la posibilidad de realizar demos para distintas compañías y cuando recibo diferentes pedales, tengo también la posibilidad de utilizar estos novedosos sonidos que no utilizaría regularmente y a partir de ahí me siento inspirada para crear nuevas composiciones.
And then the last thing I wanted to say was I am inspired by just storytelling, by movies. For me, writing music is like a very visual thing. I used to walk home from school every day listening to music and I would imagine my own music videos, like my own stories for each song. So for me, I'm really inspired when I have a story I want to tell or a place that I want to transport people to. So that's what I channel when I'm writing on guitar.
Las imágenes visuales son muy importantes. Cuando la gente escucha mi guitarra, quiero transportarlos, llevarlos de viaje a ese paisaje, a eso que yo me imagino estamos todos viendo juntos. Entonces, las imágenes o las películas, sin duda, son una tercera opción. Entonces, let me translate the three things you love the most for inspiration. Viajar, tonos nuevos, en este caso fueron los pedales, y por último, imágenes o películas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Another one about a creative blog, which you just answered. Okay, here's an interesting one. Hi, Yvette. Oh, this is from Jason Naranjo. Says, hi, Yvette. First, you are an incredible guitarist, and thank you for sharing your experience. The question at this time, okay, I'm reading just what he wrote. Okay. Which guitar do you prefer to create, 6 or 8 strings? And what tunings do you use on an 8-string guitar?
I actually have never played on 8-string, but I did play 7-string. And the main tuning I use on that is sorry, just kidding. The main tuning I use on that is A, D, A, D, F sharp, B, E. And I choose that because I like having 2 octaves on the bottom, A, and D, and D.
Ok, no tocó nunca guitarras de 8 cuerdas, pero sí de 7, y la afinación que utiliza regularmente es la siguiente: A, D. Can you remind me, please? A, D.
A, D, F sharp, B, E.
Ok, esa es la afinación que utiliza generalmente en las guitarras de 7 cuerdas. Ok.
And I prefer right now 6-string because I have a band, so I like letting my bass player occupy the lower register instead of having those low strings.
Actualmente, como está tocando en una banda y prefiere que el bajista sea quien se encargue de las frecuencias más graves, ella prefiere las guitarras de 6 cuerdas actualmente. Okay, so now regarding to the bass lines, here we do have another question on that regards. Says, okay, how do you approach your bass lines in the composition of the guitar?
So a lot of my guitar riffs actually have built-in implied bass notes. So I do that because I use the lower strings as drones. I'm trying to think of an example. I'll think of one. But basically, I just kind of, when I write a melodic line, I think about what harmonies I want to hear, and I let some of the lower strings kind of become the harmony. And then when my bass player comes in, he either harmonizes the harmonies that I've already written, or he kind of plays with, he echoes them. So he plays the same thing as me to just emphasize it. It really depends on the part.
Si bien depende específicamente de la parte, la maestra Young suele crear composiciones que incluyan armonías, donde las líneas de bajo pueden estar copiadas por el bajista, o muchas veces el bajista en la banda armoniza justamente las armonías de la maestra Young. Depende mucho de las partes de la canción según cada canción. Yvette, we do have our last 6 minutes, and people would like to hear you play. So if you like to share, like a last song.
Yeah. Yes, I would love that. Let me tune.
Oh, great! Thank you. Here, Claribel is asking for Atreyu.
Oh, I wish I could play that, but I don't have the track for it. So it'd be kind of weird. But I have one prepared. Farewell.
Okay. Clarisbel no puede tocar ese tema porque no tiene el backing track, pero va a tocar otro para todos nosotros.
Let me test the levels.
Está chequeando los niveles.
How is that?
A little bit too loud, the guitar.
Is that
Yes,
better?
sounds better, yeah.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Yeah, I gotta connect it again to the Bluetooth. Sorry. Lo siento.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Yvette.
Thank you. That one was called Farewell. I think it's appropriate.
Okay, maybe you can switch your microphone so we can hear your voice.
Yes, I'm sorry. There we go. I'm back. Hi.
Hi. Okay. Bueno, I don't know if you are reading the chat, but everybody is saying, bravo, thank you. We all love you and want to thank you for your music and how the way you create and expand the limits with this beautiful instrument. So thank you very much, Yvette.
Thank you guys. I hope I can perform in South America one day. And it's been such an honor being on this thing and being able to teach.
Agradece a todos nosotros, espera poder estar de visita en Sudamérica y espera haber podido ayudarnos y haber podido enseñar algo nuevo a nosotros. Let me say just a couple of words before closing. I'm going to say in Spanish. Recuerda sumarte a la familia Dadario en nuestras redes sociales, Facebook, Dadario Latinoamérica, Instagram, @dadario.guitarfest.latam. En nuestro canal de YouTube, Dadario Latinoamérica, podrás rever las clases cuantas veces lo desees. Además, me gustaría comentarte que la Academia Dadario a la Carta ofrece clases gratuitas en vivo. Súmate a la Academia Dadario inscribiéndote de manera gratuita en festivaldadario.com/clases. Más tarde habrá importantes sorteos al finalizar las clases Herramientas Creativas, donde los especialistas Dadario nos compartirán valiosa información sobre cuerdas y accesorios Dadario. Todos los meses en nuestras redes Dadario podrás disfrutar de tips y entrevistas con artistas de la familia Dadario. En nuestras redes puedes ubicar los puntos de venta Dadario más cercanos a tu domicilio, donde encontrarás la más alta gama de cuerdas y accesorios para tu instrumento. Hoy, a continuación, no te pierdas las siguientes clases de Mika Kane, Terry Langer junto a Corbata y Herramientas Creativas con los especialistas Dadario. Muchas gracias por ser parte del Festival Dadario Guitar Plus Festival. Thank you very much, maestra Yvette Young.
It's a pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Have a nice day.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.